Sci-fi movies have so much potential for extraordinary storytelling and character development, and these franchises nailed it with these characters. While every movie builds a narrative around a cast of characters, and they all have the potential to put the heroes and villains into interesting situations, sci-fi stories can be out of this world, literally. With spacebound stories, incredibly advanced technological breakthroughs, and alien encounters, sci-fi is the perfect genre for expanding characters in new and exciting ways. On top of that, sci-fi films tend to disproportionately get developed into franchises. Due to the nature of the genre, with the stories creating new worlds that are ripe to be explored, the story often stretches out beyond a single film. And thankfully, this leads to some incredible character development arcs. 10. Sarah Connor, Terminator. Linda Hamilton looking heroic holding a gun as Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The Terminator came out in 1984, with writing and direction by the incredible James Cameron. The first film released early in Cameron's career, but the way that he fleshed out his characters and created a rich world that could be expanded was masterful. And perhaps, this is best seen in the way that Sarah Connor, a side character from the original film, grew to become a central star and all-around badass. The first movie sees the T-800 robot sent back in time to kill John Connor, a boy who will one day lead the rebellion against Skynet. But with John being just a child, it falls to his mother, Sarah, to ensure the boy is safe. From the first film to the most recent entries, Sarah grows to become a leader and an incredible force for good who quickly cements herself as one of the primary protagonists in the expansive series. 9. Han Solo, Star Wars. Han Solo arrives on Cloud City in The Empire Strikes Back. When Han Solo first appears in the 1977 Star Wars, he is a suave, slick, gunslinger who shoots first and asks questions later. He is also one of the best pilots in the galaxy. However, Han has some clear flaws, being a lone wolf who keeps his guard up and struggles to connect with others. This has led to Han living an isolated life, smuggling goods, and getting involved with the wrong crowds. However, when he meets Luke and Leia, Han begins a journey to become one of the galaxy's greatest heroes. He forms friendships, and even makes a romantic connection with Leia, with whom he has a child, Ben Solo. Han becomes someone who is completely different from his initial appearance, but all of this is done in a way that is both convincing and satisfying, which is largely down to the incredible performance of Harrison Ford, Rick Deckard, Blade Runner. Deckard looking at a screen in Blade Runner. Staying with Harrison Ford for a moment, the actor also had the opportunity to star in another huge sci-fi film, this time under the direction of Ridley Scott. Ford plays Rick Deckard in Blade Runner, a highly skilled agent who works primarily on a team that tracks down robots known as replicants. The replicants are nearly identical to humans in their appearance and the way they present themselves, which means it takes a special person to become a Blade Runner, tracking them down. The film did not get a sequel on the big screen for many decades, but the story of Deckard continued in various formats, with one lingering question overshadowing everything else: was Deckard a replicant himself? Despite the ongoing debates, Deckard is an incredible character who falls in love with a replicant and goes on to have a child with them. The nuance and intrigue around the character are extraordinary, and it's easily one of the best leads in a sci-fi film to this day. 7. Anakin Skywalker, Star Wars. Anakin Skywalker, an Order 66 custom image by Tom Bacon. Returning to Star Wars for a moment, as much as Han Solo was a compelling lead who had a change of heart and became a hero, there is another character whose journey throughout the series is even more extraordinary. Anakin Skywalker was just a boy on Tatooine who felt his life would lead nowhere. Despite this, he had ambitions to invent things and leave the crime-ridden planet behind him. Thanks to Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi Master who saw something in Anakin, he was able to break free from the chains of slavery and train to become a peace guardian in the galaxy. However, Anakin's journey was not plain sailing, as he eventually succumbed to the dark side at the moment his wife needed him most. It took many years after that for Anakin to see the light again, but eventually, in the ultimate act of self-sacrifice, he died to protect his children and atone for letting down his wife, Rocket Raccoon, Guardians of the Galaxy. Baby Rocket Raccoon is scared in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Rocket Raccoon was first seen in Guardians of the Galaxy as a smart-talking creature with an attitude. His only friend in life was a living tree, and together the pair roamed the galaxy looking for loot. However, when Rocket found a family with Peter Quill, Drax, Gamora, and, of course, his old friend Groot, he began to have a change of heart. However, the most enlightening chapter in Rocket's story was Got G Volume 3, when Rocket's horrific origins with the High Evolutionary come to light. Rocket overcame a lot. He lost loved ones, and he was isolated, experimented on, and treated poorly. And this context in the third entry really helped to expand his character, turning him from a caricature into a real, emotional, engaging being. 5. Furiosa, Mad Max. Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Furiosa, or Imperator Furiosa, is one of the most formidable individuals to roam the Badlands. Originally, Furiosa appeared as a side character in Mad Max, Fury Road, but due to the character's intriguing backstory, a spin-off movie was made focusing on their origin. Furiosa was kidnapped at 10 years old from a community that appears to have been fairly stable in the apocalyptic wasteland. Despite her more comfortable upbringing, Furiosa was highly intelligent and capable of manipulating situations to her advantage. Growing up in a community run by Dementors, she was able to disguise herself as a boy and learn to drive the big rigs for deliveries and pickups. Furiosa possesses an iron will, which makes her an incredible ally and a powerful rival. And in each new entry where she appears, she continues to grow more intriguing. Tony Stark, Iron Man, a Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony Stark mad with Steve Rogers. The MCU broadly fits into the categories of both fantasy and sci-fi, but when it comes to Iron Man, he is firmly a sci-fi hero. Tony Stark began his life as the heir to a weapons manufacturing company, and due to his incredible natural aptitude for engineering, he revolutionized the business with his designs. But when confronted with the reality of his creations and the devastation they cause, Tony made a major change. Split image of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in Iron Man, 2008, on the left, Chris Evans' Captain America in Captain America Civil War, 2016, on the right. Related. Russo brothers address convincing Robert Down from being a leading billionaire warmonger to saving the world from imminent destruction. Tony Stark's change of heart defined the MCU. But more than that, as an individual, he grew far beyond the trajectory of his life, choosing to take responsibility for his mistakes, and eventually laying down his own life to save others. Tony Stark is easily one of the most incredible characters in the MCU, and sci-fi as a whole.